Hello students, welcome back. Last class we studied about general characteristics of group 16 elements. Now here we are going to study what is the methods of preparation of oxygen, that is dioxygen. Okay, so you know what are the different behavior of oxygen from that of other elements. So this is a gas while all other are solids at room temperature. It exists as diatomic form, but all other exist as octatomic form, and that is also due to different properties, that is your high ionization enthalpy, high electronegativity, and due to absence of vacant d orbitals. So now come to preparation of dioxygen. So oxygen is the most important and most important element. It is the most abundant element in earth crust. So this is generally prepared by heating the heavy metal oxides. Okay, so like when silver oxide heated, it gives, when silver oxide heated, it gives 4 Ag plus oxygen. Similarly, mercuric oxide on heating gives mercury vapor plus mercury plus oxygen. And this is also prepared by heating the chlorates and nitrates. The chlorates and nitrates of potassium and sodium. So potassium nitrate on heating gives 2KNO2 plus oxygen. Similarly, potassium chlorate, this also on heating gives 2KCl plus 3O2. In this way, oxygen is prepared by heating heavy metal oxides or chlorates and nitrates of sodium and potassium salts. Next, this oxygen also prepared by heating some peroxides. This is also prepared by heating some peroxides like barium peroxide on heating gives BaO plus O2, barium oxide. Similarly, hydrogen peroxide, it gives 2H2O plus O2. So, peroxides on heating also gives some oxygen. Similarly, it is also prepared by heating the hypochlorates, and oxygen gas is also prepared by a reaction of sulfuric acid with oxidizing agents like manganese dioxide, potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate. Look here. MnO2 plus H2SO4 give rise to MnO2 plus H2SO4 give rise to MnSO4 plus H2O plus O2. Okay. Similarly, potassium permanganate KMnO4 plus H2SO4. When potassium permanganate treated with sulfuric acid, it gives it gives potassium sulfate K2SO4 plus manganese sulfate plus H2O and oxygen. So in this way, that is your K2SO4, 3H2SO4 give rise to 2KMnO4, give rise to K2SO4, 2MnSO4, plus 3H2O plus 5O. And when we convert it in molecular form, this oxygen when converted to molecular form, it becomes 4KMnO4 plus 6H2SO4 give rise to 2K2SO4 plus 4MnSO4 manganese sulfate 6H2O plus 5O2. So in this way oxygen gas is produced. Okay. Similarly, when it treated with potassium dichromate plus sulfuric acid give rise to K2SO4 plus Cr2 is chromium sulfate plus 8H2O plus 3O2. So in this way 2, here 2 and 2 and here 8H2SO4. So potassium dichromate when treated with sulfuric acid, it forms potassium sulfate, chromium sulfate, potassium sulfate, chromium sulfate, water and oxygen. In laboratory, generally this oxygen gas is prepared from potassium chlorate. When potassium chlorate heated in presence of manganese dioxide, it gives oxygen. Okay, so actually this reaction here manganese dioxide acts as catalyst. So potassium chlorate to potassium chlorate on heating in presence of manganese dioxide, it forms oxygen. Okay, so oxygen gas is also prepared by the electrolysis of water. This is also prepared by the electrolysis of water. So when water undergo electrolysis, acidic water in presence of acid or alkali, when it undergo electrolysis in presence of some acid or alkali, it forms H plus and OH minus. So then at cathode, H plus electron give rise to H and H plus H give rise to hydrogen gas. Similarly, at anode, OH minus electron give rise to OH and it is being unstable. 4OH give rise to H2O plus O2. In this way, by the electrolysis of water, either in presence of acid or in presence of alkali, it forms oxygen at anode. And oxygen gas also prepared in commercial scale by fractional distillation of liquid air. So in liquid air, nitrogen, oxygen, all these gases have different boiling points. In this way, according to the difference in boiling points, these can be separated by fractional distillation method. So these are some methods by which oxygen gas is prepared. Next come to properties of oxygen. So oxygen actually it is paramagnetic in nature, and on oxygen two bonds are present. In this way, bond dissociation energy of oxygen molecule is high. So at room temperature, the oxygen molecule is generally inert. It does not react with other. However, when it is heated, then oxygen reacts with metals, non-metals and metalloids to form the corresponding oxides, such as when it heated with non-metals like phosphorus, then it forms phosphorus pentoxide. Similarly, when oxygen heated with sulfur, it forms sulfur dioxide. So, then it reacts on heating, it reacts with all metals, non-metals and metalloids to form corresponding oxides. Similarly, it reacts with metals to form oxides. Also, it reacts with metals to form peroxides. Reacts with metals to form oxides as well as it also forms peroxides. Potassium, when reacts with oxygen, when heated with oxygen, it forms potassium oxide, potassium peroxide and some potassium suboxides. It forms this type of oxides. Okay. Similarly, the metalloids, when reacts with oxygen, they also form corresponding oxides. They also form the corresponding oxides like arsenic plus oxygen give rise to AH2O3. Sb plus oxygen give rise to Sb2O3. So with almost all elements, when oxygen heated, it forms corresponding oxides. Similarly, oxygen also acts as an oxidizing agent. It oxidizes hydrochloric acid to chlorine. Okay, so HCl plus O2 give rise to H2O plus chlorine. So in this way, 4HCl plus O2 give rise to 2H2O plus chlorine. Similarly, it oxidizes ammonia gas. When it is oxidizes ammonia gas, when ammonia gas undergo oxidation in presence of oxygen, it forms nitric oxide and water. Okay, so in this way, it also in presence of platinum catalyst. So ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitric oxide and water. Okay, so in this way, it also acts as an oxidizing agent in some reaction. So as the oxygen gives oxides, these oxides are again classified into different types such as normal oxides, polyoxides, and suboxides. Normal oxides where oxygen has generally oxidation number -2 and the elements show generally their normal valency, and these normal oxides are again classified into different types like basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, acidic oxides, neutral oxides. So basic oxides, when these oxides undergo dissolution in water, then it forms bases. Generally alkali metal and alkaline earth metals forms this type of oxides like sodium oxide, potassium oxide, calcium oxide, etc. Similarly, acidic oxides, where the oxides undergo dissolution in water, and when dissolved in water, they form acidic solutions. Generally, all non-metal oxides, maximum all non-metal oxides are acidic oxides like phosphorus pentoxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, chlorine oxides. So all these are some examples of acidic oxides. And amphoteric oxides, whether the solution is amphoteric nature, so generally some metal oxides are amphoteric in nature, and these oxides react with both acid and bases to form salts like aluminum oxide, zinc oxide, etc. Aluminum oxide, when treated with acid like hydrochloric acid, gives aluminum chloride, and when it reacts with sodium hydroxide, it forms aluminum zincate. Similarly, zinc oxide reacts with acid to form zinc chloride, as well as reacts with bases like sodium hydroxide to form sodium zincate. In this way, these are amphoteric oxides. And neutral oxides, their solutions do not exhibit any acidic or basic solution. They do not give any acidic or basic solution. That are neutral oxides, like the oxides of carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, etc. So these are some examples of neutral oxides. Next, polyoxides. In polyoxides, the oxygen atom has different oxidation state, that is -1 or -half. Here it contains more number of oxygen atom than its normal valency, like hydrogen peroxide. So in the polyoxides, peroxides and superoxides are this type of oxides like Na2O2, H2O2, BaO2. These are peroxides. KO2. So this is superoxides. Okay, so these are known as your polyoxides. More number of oxygen. And suboxides that contain less number of oxygen than that of its normal valency. Okay, so that is your N2O, C3O4. So these are some examples of suboxides. Again, these oxides are classified into another type, that is known as your mixed oxides. So mixed oxides, where it is a mixture of two different types of oxides, like lead oxide Pb3O4. It is a mixture of PbO plus PbO2. Similarly, Fe3O4, mixture of FeO and Fe2O3. So in this way, these are known as mixed oxides. Okay, so these are some oxides, and these are classification of some oxides. So you know, ozone is another allotrope of oxygen. Now come to the preparation and properties of ozone. Preparation and properties of ozone. Okay, so ozone is one allotrope of oxygen. It is present in the upper atmosphere, that is in the stratosphere. Okay, a very thin layer of ozone is present. In the upper atmosphere, it is prepared from, automatically it is prepared from oxygen. So oxygen in presence of UV light 3O2. So in presence of sunlight, it forms ozone. It forms ozone. Similarly, in the laboratory also ozone prepared. So there are different apparatus or instruments used for this preparation of ozone. So these are generally Siemens ozonizer or Brody's ozonizer. So here I have given the figure of Siemens ozonizer. Brody's ozonizer is also in the same way, but here difference is that platinum electrodes are used and electrolyte, that is dilute sulfuric acid, is used inside and outside this tube. So this is known as your Siemens ozonizer. Siemens ozonizer. So in this ozonizer, two coaxial glass tubes are fitted at one end. There are two one inlet and one outlet of this tube. So these two, inner side of this tube and outer side of this tube are coated with tin foil. So two coaxial tubes fitted at one end, and here there is a outlet and there is an inlet, and this inner side of the tube and outside side of the tube are coated with tin foil. So these are tin foil, and this inner side and outer side of this tin foil are connected with induction coil, which provide high voltage. Okay, so when pure and dry, so in this, for this inlet, pure and dry oxygen gas is passed. As the pure and dry oxygen gas is passed through it, and due to the passage of sparkless induction coil, so sparkless current, so ozonide oxygen is produced. So here ozonide oxygen, ozone plus oxygen. In this method, only 10% of ozone is prepared, and which can be isolated by fractional distillation method. First cooling and then distillation process. This ozone is prepared. So the reaction is give rise to 2O3. So for the preparation of ozone, the apparatus should be clean and dry, and pure and dry oxygen should be used, and temperature should be maintained at low temperature. So temperature should be maintained low. So in this way, pure and dry oxygen, and the electric current that should be sparkless. Okay, so 4 conditions are there for the preparation of ozone. Otherwise, the temperature is raised, then ozone again decomposed to give oxygen. So in this way, you have to take care the 4 conditions. Take care for the 4 conditions. That is, pure and dry oxygen should be used, and this apparatus should be clean and dry, and temperature should be maintained low, and sparkless electric current should be there, so that ozone is prepared. Now ozone is a gas, and it is also a colorless, odorless gas, but when cooled, its color changes to blue. Okay, so ozone decomposes easily to give oxygen. So ozone decomposes easily to give oxygen. So it gives nascent oxygen also. So due to this, ozone acts as an oxidizing agent. So ozone acts as an oxidizing agent. So it acts as oxidizing agent. So as it decomposes to give O2 plus O. So in this way it acts as oxidizing agent. It oxidizes metal to metal oxides like silver to silver oxide. So O3 give rise to O2 plus O. Then 2Ag plus O give rise to Ag2O. In this way, 2Ag plus O3 give rise to Ag2O plus O2. So it oxidizes silver metal to silver oxide. In the same way, it oxidizes mercury to mercurous oxide. It oxidizes mercury to mercurous oxide. So Hg plus O give rise to Hg2O, mercurous oxide, and the overall reaction 2Hg plus O3 give rise to Hg2O plus O2. So this is mercurous oxide. So when ozone reacts with mercury, it forms mercurous oxide. Generally, you know, in a glass tube, when mercury is there, it does not stick to the glass tube. Its surface is generally concave. But when ozone reacts with mercury, at that time, due to formation of mercurous oxide, it sticks to the glass tube. So first, this is your glass tube. Suppose mercury remains like this, it does not stick to the glass tube. But when it forms mercurous oxide, it sticks to the glass tube. This is called tailing of mercury. So this is called tailing of mercury. So when ozone reacts with mercurous oxides, it forms ozone reacts with mercury, it forms mercurous oxides which sticks to the glass tube. That is known as your tailing of mercury. Next, it acts as oxidizing agent. It oxidizes various metals to metal oxides, various non-metals to metal oxides. So it oxidizes lead sulfide to lead sulfate. So this is black in color and this is white in color. So O3 give rise to O2 plus O and PbS plus 4O give rise to PbSO4. In this way, PbS plus 4O3 give rise to PbSO4 plus 4O2. So black color of lead sulfide is converted to white lead sulfate. It also oxidizes acidified ferrous sulfate solution to ferric sulfate. It oxidizes acidified ferrous sulfate solution to ferric sulfate. FeSO4 H2SO4 plus oxygen give rise to Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus H2O. So the general equation 2FeSO4 H2SO4 plus O3 give rise to Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus H2O plus O2. Okay, ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. It also oxidizes potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. It also oxidizes potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. K4 FeCN whole 6 plus H2O plus O give rise to K3 FeCN whole 6 plus 2 KOH. So in this way the reaction is 2 K4 FeCN whole O2. Okay. So in this way it oxidizes green color of potassium manganate to potassium permanganate. It oxidizes potassium manganate to potassium permanganate. In the same equation, Cassel equation, that is your 2K2MnO4 plus H2O plus O give rise to 2KMnO4 plus 2KOH plus 2KOH. Okay, so in this way, this is the reaction and it forms 2K2MnO4 plus H2O plus O3, 2KMnO4, 2KOH plus O2. So pink color and this color is green. So it converts green color potassium manganate to potassium permanganate. It converts green color potassium manganate to potassium permanganate. Okay. It also oxidizes ozone, also oxidizes acidified stannous chloride to stannic chloride. It also oxidizes acidified stannous chloride to stannic chloride. SnCl2 plus HCl plus O3 give rise to Cl4 plus H2O. Here no oxygen is produced. In this case no oxygen gas is produced. All other cases side product oxygen is produced. In this case no oxygen gas is produced. So in this way 3SnCl2, 3SnCl4 give rise to 3H2O. Okay. Next, it also oxidizes sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. Here also no oxygen gas is produced. Okay, so in this case, in these two cases, no oxygen gas is produced. It oxidizes potassium iodide solution to iodine. It oxidizes potassium iodide solution to iodine. That is and ozone gives to O2 plus O. So 2KiH2O give rise to in this way. It gives 2Ki plus H2O plus O3, 2KOH plus I2 plus O2. Okay. It oxidizes potassium iodide solution to iodine. It also oxidizes moist iodine to iodic acid. It also oxidizes moist iodine to iodic acid. It also oxidizes moist iodine to iodic acid. That is I2 plus ozone give rise to I2O5, O3 give rise to O2 plus O. So 5O give rise to I2O5 and I2O5 plus H2O give rise to HiO3. So 2HiO3. Okay. So in this way here you have to just multiply by 5. So in this way it gives rise to, so I2O5 cancels and 5 4 cancels. So I2 plus 5O3 plus H2O give rise to 2HiO3 plus 5O2. In the same way, it oxidizes phosphorus to phosphoric acid. So P4 plus O3 plus H2O, it gives rise to H3PO4, phosphorus to phosphoric acid. In the same way, it oxidizes arsenic to arsenic acid. So ozone oxidizes moist iodine to iodic acid, moist phosphorus to phosphoric acid, and arsenic to arsenic acid. So in this way it acts as an oxidizing agent. In some cases, ozone also acts as a reducing agent. In some cases, ozone acts as also some reducing agent. For example, when ozone reacts with hydrogen peroxide, it acts as a reducing agent. Here it takes off one oxygen. H2O2 plus O3 give rise to H2O plus 2O2. Similarly, barium peroxide plus ozone give rise to barium oxide plus 2O2. In this case, ozone acts as a reducing agent. Ozone also acts as a bleaching agent. Ozone also acts as a bleaching agent, and bleaching agent is due to its oxidizing property. Due to its oxidizing property, and the oxidizing action is permanent, like that of chlorine. So ozone acts as an oxidizing agent. Look here, O3 give rise to O2 plus O. Any coloring matter is there. Any coloring matter is there. When it undergoes treated with this nascent oxygen, it forms a colorless matter. It forms colorless matter. And as due to its oxidizing process nature, as due to this oxidation process, so this bleaching action of ozone is permanent. Generally, it is used in paper and silk industry to decolorize the pulp. Okay, so in this way, to decolorize the pulp. In this way, ozone acts as a bleaching agent. Next, so ozone also acts as a germicide. So these are some properties of ozone.